Welcome, race fans from around the globe. Here they come, out of turn 4, to the white flag, and it's 1 to go.
Well, good evening, sim racing fans. Welcome back to 1 to Go Studios coverage of Tyler Daniels Racing Gas and Go, presented by Back Talk. We are working at tonight's championship 175 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the 2.5 Classic Oval in Indianapolis, Indiana. So this is our final race. We're down to 4 drivers. The yellow drivers are playoff eligible. Haven't got a total confirmation on their names, but I believe that's who we got. Brian McCann, Ryan Shelton, Andrew Bisnet, and I'm trying to remember the 4th driver in this group. But working on it. Once I get confirmation, I'll let you guys know. But I do have 4 drivers set up in yellow. I did ask for clarification because it's the system they gave me. I still have the 8 drivers from the original set as we're at the Yard of Bricks here. And we got about 2.5 minutes left in qualifying for tonight's race here for 170 laps, 175 miles. That showed Andrew Bisnet, Brian McCann, David Trumley, and Ryan Shelton, the 4 drivers competing for the championship here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Presented to you by Back Talk. Coverage provided by 1 to Go Studios. I'm your executive producer, Harold Darner. As I said, we're coming to you from the famous oval Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the heart of America down in Indianapolis, Indiana. So far, I've only got Miss CJ talking to us. So Kathy, Joe, pretty good weekend thus far. Been doing things at the church. Had a long day today, but, you know, we're having a good day so far. I'm sure people have been watching the Sonoma race. I haven't had a chance to. Like I said, it's been a very long day. So we'll get to qualifying here shortly. Try to see if I could find some people on the track. So showing 23 drivers have connected to the service. 4 of those drivers racing for a championship. That would leave the other 18 drivers looking for the checkered flag at Indianapolis. These drivers are racing in the next generation Cup car. Wait till qualifying. We'll check with our weather. Showing 30 people watching the stream across 3 streams and only 1 person commenting. So yeah, these guys do a pretty good job with their paint schemes. Actually, you know, I said something earlier in the season. I wasn't a fan of the number placement, But after seeing the cars up close and personal, I think something I'm getting used to. Kind of like the way they've utilized that from the back on the door, putting more information on the door, I guess. So the guys are out here on the qualifying laps. See if I can find one of our drivers out here. Yeah, so far, I don't see any of our playoff contenders, but I do have a few guys out on the racetrack. Currently looking out there is Jay Downham. He's going to try to put his qualifying laps in here really quick. We'll check with our Lottie'sTravelWorld.com weather for the championship 175. Partly cloudy skies, air temp 67, 101 on the track. Relative humidity 49 degrees, and the winds are out of the west at 2 miles per hour. Currently in sim, we're May 15th at 4 in the afternoon. I guess that's where the cool conditions come from. Actually, a week would have been a week before the Indy 500. It's showing a lot of people watching. My number is showing 43. And Kathy Joe, you're the only person that has a voice. Apparently, I must have muted everybody. So Jay Downham's first lap, 53.325 for his fastest lap. Puts himself in the top spot right at the moment. Mentioned that Tyler Daniels now coming up to the top spot in the 25 as we got drivers coming across. Mentioned before that iRacing used to have a working podium here on the pole there. And there's Jim Downham and now Ethan Thompson to the top. All right, so Paul joins us. He says, what's up from Pittsburgh? So we got Pittsburgh in the house of Pennsylvania, and we got a New Yorker and a Marylander. Brian McCann, one of the playoff drivers, to the top of the charts, 52.524. All right, now another playoff contender, Ryan Shelton to the top. So playoff contenders, the number 3 and the number 99, want to put themselves up there to start off here. Looks like David Trumley and Bisnet have yet to go out. Bisnet just now coming out in the number 1. There's Andrew Bisnet. Hey, there's Brad Hunt. Thanks to you guys. If you guys don't put on a show, I can't put on one either. Be kind of boring. Kathy Jo says she doesn't like looking at an empty racetrack. So Andrew Bisnet, I believe he comes across there. Looks like that would have been his out lap, so he's putting down his first lap now. Ryan Shelton back to the top. Him and Mr. Brian McCann. So we're definitely moving around here. Andrew Bisnet is looking to get himself up there. But right now, your top 2 inside and outside pole positions belonging to playoff contenders of Shelton and McCann. This is the final Spring 2022 Back Talk sponsored Tyler Daniel Racing Gas and Go race of the season. We'll be crowning a champion tonight with those yellow names on the podium. And we're looking at Andrew Bisnet just putting himself into the 10th spot onto his second lap. And David Trumley has yet to come out. The 4 drivers are competing. First of the 4 across the stripe at the end of this will bring home the season championship. And, of course, there'll be a winner of tonight's race as well. All right, Brad, no issues. I try not to do that to drivers. Kathy Jo knows I have a hard enough time driving the car when I'm in it. She watches me, though, and I try to say things, but they keep telling me to put my eyes back on the screen and quit watching the chat. So 4.5 left in qualifying. And right currently now, Andrew Bizzett in the 11th position. And I have not seen Trumley out yet either. And the Andrew is done with that 11th spot. Got Chuck McDonald out here now, that 04, looking pretty cool, snazzy in the chrome and black 04. Well, Kathy, that's when I'm watching, out the windshield. My wife says I'm not very good when I turn my head. So I'll let her know that I'm a good driver. You said so. All right, so Jim confirming that I do have the 4 correct. I've got Brian, Ryan, Dave Trumbley, and Andrew Biznett. So Ryan Shelton, Brian McCann, David Trumbley, who's now entered the track for his qualifying laps. So you see them all in yellow. There's 4 drivers first across the line. We'll talk about crowning our champion. So if you're just tuning in for the first time with One to Go Studios, we provide coverage for Sunday night here, our final of the TDR Gas and Go series. So you pretty much knew that already. That's why you're here. Monday night, we'll be heading over to COTA with the next-gen car for Area iRacing. You check them out at areairacing.com. Here's Dustin. Thank you, Dustin, for checking in with us. But we do Area iRacing for the next-gen Cup car. Me and Hunter Sleppy will be calling the action on Monday night. Tuesday night, we'll be checking, and these are all on their Area iRacing Twitch channel. Tuesday, it'll be Ken Kushwa and myself calling the action for the CNC Logging Truck Series. Thursday night, we go to the Xfinity for the Lodge Box Series, all on areairacing.com. You can check those out with their Twitch channel. As it looks like we got 2 minutes remaining in qualifying here. I'm not thinking pretty much everybody except for Ryan Walter and Bradley Hunt have currently put a time in. Now there's the Tire Down Gas and Go Championship 175 here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So check out Back Talk. They are on all of those social media, or not social media, all those podcasts right there on your screen, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube. You can follow them on Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram. So send some little bit of love over there to Back Talk. They are the sponsors of the Tyler Daniel Racing Gas and Go Series, which concludes tonight for season 1 of the 2022 season. We'll be crowning a championship tonight in just a few minutes. 175 miles, 70 laps here at the famous 2.5 Brick of Yards, or Yard of Bricks, at the Brickyard. And you're also looking for One to Go Studios. We do on all these that you have now, same places, pretty much the same time, about the 8:20 time period on Friday night. And we'll be moving to a championship for split decision triple threat. And they will be at Chicagoland to crown a champion for their season. You can check them out also. And that's Split Decision Racing. And we'll be crowning a champion there. 3 champions that night, 1 in each of the divisions. That's true. That's right. They run an IMSA-style NASCAR system. They have Cup cars, the next-gen Cup car, the Xfinity Series, and the trucks, all 3 on the same track at Chicagoland, doing battle for a championship and a race win. But it looks like our grid is set and we will check it down on trackside. All right, as we said, on the pole, current championship contender Ryan Shelton in the number 99, and outside of him in the number 3 is Brian McCann. Inside row 2, Ethan Thompson, and outside him is Tyler Bowers, Jason Ricker, and Jordan Sims. Inside of row 3, row 4, Thomas Rule and Chris Rawlings. Dustin Valenthusen and Jim Downham will be in row number 5. Another championship contender, Andrew Business, will be rolling off 11th in row number 6. Christopher Strom in the 12th spot. And Tyler Daniels rolling off 13th inside of 7. Outside him is Bob Burlow, Jay Downham, and Robert Trask in row number 8. Row number 9 is Greg Brazu and the other in final playoff contender for the Final Four, David Trumley in the 96th and the 18th spot in row number 9. Row 10, Robert Cochran and Chuck McDonald, Luke Desjardins and Bradley Hunt in row 11, and running it back on the field in a beautiful paint scheme in the 23rd spot, number 49 of Ryan Walter. So let's bring it down to the trackside and get this thing going. A nice shot of all the cars lined up just shy of the yard of bricks. And there's Janelle. So she's checking in on YouTube. And good evening and good luck to all the drivers tonight. We'll be watching everybody with great anticipation as the pacing has begun. We'll get ready to go to green flag. 70 laps, 175 miles. Championship on the line. 4 drivers looking to take it home. Only one can get the crown. Let's check out the current weather for tonight's race from Lottie'sTravelWorld.com. For the championship, 175, partly cloudy skies, 67 in the air, 96. We lost a little bit of temperature, about 5 degrees, 49% humidity, and the winds are out of the west at 2 miles per hour. So it should be a good race tonight for the Back Talk TDR Gas and Go series from Indianapolis Motor Speedway as we continue to watch the pace lap on the backstretch. I've seen a few drivers and a few people post. I know we got quite a few more. 46 people have tuned in thus far tonight. Eyes are on this exciting end of the 2022 series presented by Back Talk and produced by One to Go Studios. We're going to watch our pace car get off of the racetrack and provide a wide open track for the number 99 and number 3 to bring it to the green flag for the first time for tonight. Watch the pace car dive off the corner. There he goes. We're going to get ready to go racing here. Green flag in the air. Green flag out. Drivers to the throttle. The number 99 and number 3 side by side going into turn number 1. Side by side to the short chute. The 3 high. The 99 on the inside. 99 has a slight gap now. The 3 tucks behind. Looks to do a crossover move to the outside. The 99 stays there to 3 on his back bumper. Big gap back to Bowers. Green flag. First lap. Shelton and McCann, Bowers, Thompson, and Sims, top 5. See a slight haze in the air from the partly cloudy skies. The 99 taking the first lap. The 3 slightly behind him. 1 car length separate the 2 going into turn number 1. Short shoot into number 2. Brian McCann just sitting off that back deck of the number 99. Right behind him, Bowers, Thompson, and Sims looking pretty stout together. The 3 of them pretty close to one another, but a car length separate all of them. About 3 car lengths behind Brian McCann, and looks like Ryan Shelton stretched out the 2 car lengths there on that corner on entry. That McCann's able to catch back up to about a car length coming off the back stretch, or coming onto the front stretch. Sorry. Pretty much single file, except for we just now had to pass Thompson under Bowers for 3rd, and Ethan Thompson putting up the fastest lap at 52.8. So 2 laps down, both of them to Shelton with me. Brian McCann in tow. Working now lap number 3. Again, if you're just tuning in with us, the yellow drivers on the podium are the final four drivers looking for the championship. The first of the 4 of them to cross the line will be crowned the champion for the 2022 Season 1 season. Jim Downham now putting down the fastest lap, 52.629. And Mr. Downham is sitting currently in the 8th spot, so a little bit back in the field, providing the fastest lap. We start moving around the field to check out what's going on. That's currently Bob Burlow in the 19th spot in number 66. Down there at the 0-1 of Christopher Rawlings. I'm looking at the number 12, currently in the 15th spot, David Trumley, one of our playoff contenders, up to the 16th spot. Ethan Thompson now moving into 3rd position. Back to Chris Rawlings in the 12th spot. Tyler Daniels looking to take that position away as he looks to go under the 0-1. He's there underneath him on that straightaway, entering the corner. The 25 taking the 12th spot. Now he's looking at the number 23 of Dustin. So Dustin's got Tyler right on his back, as Chris Rawlings is going to follow Tyler Daniels. Greg in the 14th position, the number 12 car. And someone blinking out a little bit here in the back. Long straightaways here, so we're going to see a lot of coming and going, guys getting good entries and guys getting better exits. Jay Downham in the 15th spot. Gonna see who's that is blinking in and out there. Maybe it's Bob Burlow. '49 of Ryan Walter started on the back of the field, moving himself up to the 16th spot. Biggest mover, 7 spots forward. right, continue to move on. We got Bowers in the third spot. Getting now into this battle here in the top three. They're getting really close to this group here up front. So Shelton continues to pace the field here with 9 laps being worked upon. So 8 down of the 70. So 10 laps here. So it's about 7, was it 1/7? I'm not going to do the math in my head there, but pretty much working this deal here. Curious to see how far these guys can go on fuel. Haven't gotten any reports on that. They are running a full fuel cell with 1 fast repair. See if I can find my information about that with the new car here. So Shelton continuing to lead the 3 cars of McCann and Bowers, then Thompson and Sims. Andrew Bisnet in the 9th spot, and Trumley in the 14th position. All right, continuing to work here. 13 of the 70. Looking around here for any other, we got Sims now moving up on Ethan. Here's a battle for the 4th spot. Ethan and Jordan. Menards and McConey setup shop. Side by side now. It looks like the entering the corner out there. Now settled back to one behind the other. And then we have Robert Trask and Jay Downham with Robert on the inside, Downham on the outside. 14 of 70 being worked here. So we got about 65 people watching now, 66 in all 3 of our series. If you haven't said anything, let me know who you're rooting for. And then we see the Krusty Burger number 17 of Robert Trask, currently in the 17th position. We go back up to the top here is Shelton and McCann and Bowers. As you saw, Shelton there kind of breaking up the draft for Brian McCann. So the first driver down pit lane is Luke Desjardins. We had Robert Cochran come down. Looks like his is unscheduled. But first driver looks like pitting for scheduled pit stop, Luke Desjardins in the number 10. So clean and green for the first 15 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. For the Back Talk, sponsored Tyler Daniel Racing Gas and Go Championship race for the Championship 175. All right, the number 99 and the 3 are doing side-by-side battle. Brian on the high side looks like he's got an advantage. Entering the corner, Ryan Shelton staying on the low side. 3 all the way up side-by-side. Paper between the 3 to 3 on the short chute on the high side. Even on the corner, looks like Brian's going to have the gas off. Could be a lead change here. Looks like we will here at the stripe as we're coming down to finish lap 16. New leader, Mr. Brian McCann. Following him is Mr. Ryan Shelton. And then Mr. Bowers, Thompson, and Sims, the top 5. So really no big change in the front of the field as you see the top 3 as Brian McCann kind of trying to spread it out a little bit as we're completing 17 of the 70. So about a quarter of the way through tonight's race. Now looking at 18 of 70. I said the only driver that was down was Luke Desjardins, still down there, so maybe it was not a scheduled pit stop. He's still on pit lane. Ooh, some damage on the back of that 10. And Robert Cochran also. Now Robert's being shown 2 laps down, everybody else on the lead lap. So I was thinking it was possibly a green flag stops, but was not scheduled. So we continue to watch the field pace out. 19th lap. And Brian McCann now with a good 6-car length lead over Ryan Shelton and Mr. Bowers And we go all the way back 5 seconds to Ethan Thompson. And 3 seconds behind him is Ricker. And then Jay Sims. Those feel fairly spread out now. So 20 of the 70 being worked on here. Brian McCann, the second leader of the night, currently here. Now it looks like Luke Desjardins has disconnected. So that leaves Robert Cochran, the only car not on the lead lap as we're working lap 20. So the numbers keep going up, but only seeing a few people talk. So let me know who you're rooting for. Man, I put them up on the track on the monitors for you. But right now we're around race leader Brian McCann. Going to try to look through the field here and see what we got going on. Andrew Bisnett moving up into the 9th spot. He's up 2 spots from his initial start. I'm keeping an eye on that number 1 there. Well, it's supposed to be number 1, but it's actually number 69. Not sure why he's in the wrong number paint scheme there, but he's 69 on your screen, but then number 1 on the timing and scoring. And then behind him is Dustin and Tyler Daniels. We go back to David Trumley, up now 6 spots from his starting position in that Bitcoin number 96. So it looks like Bisnett is now looking to get around Mr. Jim Downham. So getting around the 28. And moving himself up another position into 8th spot. Feels pretty tight in this section here, but everything else pretty spread out early on. Looking pretty good here as Brian McCann continues to pace the field. Looks like Bisnett has moved himself into the 8th spot. Going to try to catch the next car, which is Jay Sims in the 47. Looking at 23 of the 70 down, so a third down of the race thus far. And we see Brian McCann being chased by Shelton. These are both playoff drivers, the final 4. First of them to cross will be crowned champion tonight. And Tyler Bowers, Ethan Thompson, and Jason Ricker now. Jason Ricker, new driver now through the grass. That is Brad Hunt, sorry. That number 69, he's got a cone with him. He's going to try to get back on the racetrack, but was down. Now he's down 2 laps. One of the drivers, also Jay Downham, came down a lap down, 15.7 seconds. All right, so Ryan Shelton regains the lead over Brian McCann. So they're going to switch off here who's got leadership duty. As we're working lap 25 of the slotted 70, a third of the way through tonight's scheduled laps here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway from the Brickyard. '99 and the 3 continue to do battle. A pretty close, tight race. Everywhere else on the track kind of spread out right now. This is the biggest. Oh, we got Dustin. Looks like he's fighting off the number 07 of Christopher Strawn. And now back a little further is Greg Brazel in the number 12 as he approaches Ryan Walter. So 19 drivers on the lead lap. A lap down is Jay Dunham in the 59. As we're going to go back to the race leaders. All right, 28 being worked to the 70. Shelton and McCann. Now Shelton over about a 3-car length over McCann, with Bowers behind them. Then a good 6.5 seconds back to Thompson and 11 seconds back to Jason Riker. Completing the 29th lap here, working 29 of the 70, so vastly approaching to halfway here. We still have 19 drivers on the lead lap. Not a lot of changes up front. Shelton, McCann, Bowers, Thompson have all pretty much started and stayed in the top 5, with Jason Riker in the 5th spot. The top 5 have been the top 5 throughout. Biggest mover is David Trumley, who has moved up to 7th, 11 spots from his starting position, 18th. As he continues to work that 96, who's currently 14 seconds behind the leader, but is cutting into that little by little. His last lap, 54.974. About 0.2 slower than Shelton on the last lap. Now all four of the championship contenders in the top 10, as you see on your leaderboard. Shelton and McCain 1-2, Trumley 7th, Andrew Bisnet in the 9th spot. Crossing the line here will complete 30 of the 70, 5 laps short from the halfway point. The 31 now, the 70. Again, if you're just watching tonight and needed to let me know who you're rooting for in the chat so we can give that guy a push to the front. It is championship night tonight for the Tyler Daniel Racing Gas and Go on the Back Talk sponsored racing here tonight, broadcasted by Wendigo Studio, presented by the Back Talk. You check Back Talk out on anywhere you get your podcast. Championship 175 here is about halfway through with Ryan Shelton and Brian McCann, the two playoff drivers, trying to make this very interesting between the two of them of who's going to bring home the gem and the checkered flag. All right, 33 of the 70 being worked on. You're watching the top two of Shelton and Brian McCann. About 4 car lengths separate them. The Janelle rooting for Dustin. Dustin currently in the 11th spot. A little bit of help here. Looks like, what's it, 59? That's Jay Downham. He's a lap down. Nat, the 23, sitting about a second and a half ahead of Christopher Strawn. And about 5/10 behind Tyler Daniels. You saw him just off of camera there. Now just in front of Mr. Downham's car. And there's Dustin. We're going to push Dustin up there to the front for Janelle. As we're working lap number 34 now of the 70 slotted. So just shy of that halfway spot. Coming down pit lane, Tyler Daniels and Jordan Sims. Two drivers coming down just prior to halfway. So continue watching Shelton and McCann. Brian McCann right behind you, about 3 car lengths. So the sun's decided to pop out and make the track a little hotter than it already was. Down they come right at the halfway mark. Number 99, Tyler Bowers, now the new race leader, as we now work the 35th lap. As we're going to be, once we complete this, we'll be at halfway. Let's see how this all works out with the 2 leaders now on pit lane. Jason Riker now down as well. The green flag pit stops have begun here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the championship 175. Presented by Back Talk is the Tyler Daniel Racing Gas and Go Championship race live from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Nice cover presented by Wendigo Studios, proud broadcaster of Tyler Daniel Racing for the Gas and Go series. As Tyler Bowers now coming down at the completion of 35, so he shows he can get halfway. on his fuel run. Ethan stays out. Or no, Ethan's coming down now. You see Ethan drop it below. We'll see where Mr. Rule, what he does. He's coming down as well. David Trumley stays out. And he'll inherit the lead here. David Trumley, your new leader. And right behind him, Andrew Bisnett is now in the second spot. So, and Dustin decides to stay out as well, as is Christopher Rawlings and Chuck McDonald. Everybody else on pit lane for service. No, everybody except for Trumley, Bisnett, and Velhusen are all on pit lane, or have hit pit lane. Rawlings and McDonald also staying out. They're working lap number 36 of the slotted 70. Most of the drivers deciding to split the difference here to the end. As Trumley pacing the field now on those older tires at lap 37. David Trumley's last lap, 54.958. Gonna check to see what the previous leaders are putting down here. So Shelton gonna get this one lap here, so we'll see what the next lap is. That was his out lap, so of course it was very high. Rawlings and McDonald down now. So Trumley's last lap, 54.9, as he's going to come down pit lane now. We'll put him there and see what Bisnett does. And Andrew's coming down as well as Dustin. So completing green flag pit stops will put Ryan Shelton and Brian McCann back to 1-2. Everybody has fuel and tires to the end now as we're working lap number 37 of the 70. Fast halfway to your current top five. Top five, David Trumley and Adam Bisnett about to get switched here, so we'll let that go. And there it is. Ryan Shelton, Brian McCann, Andrew Bisnett, and Dustin Velhusen. But I think that Dustin, Andrew, and they're about to come out because we got other drivers. Tyler Bowers moving to the third spot, and I believe Trumley and Ethan. There we go. Now the top five are back to where they were: Ryan Shelton, Brian McCann, Tyler Bowers, Ethan Thompson, and Jason Riker. They're in the right spots. Not sure why we're being shown the different numbers there. I'll have to go and look at the overlay. That was kind of interesting. So Shelton, McCann, Bowers, Thompson, and Riker pretty much been the top five all night. So top five, still the top five. Lap 39 is 70. So Christopher Rawlings, Chuck McDonald, Robert Trask, all down a lap. Jim Downham now back on the lead lap. The last car on the lead lap, Ryan Walter, the first one a lap down. Christopher Rawlings. Rollings. A little group here. Ryan Walter, Bob Burlow. So back to the front. The tightest battle here, the top two. Like Ryan Walter just coming up out of the pit there. See a lot of smoke in front of the leaders here. Hey, Jim Downham had some issues there. A lot of damage possibly. So let's try to get it to a replay. Right on top of the number 28 of Jim Downham. Saw a lot of smoke on the backstretch. We're going back here to see if we can find out what happened. As we continue to work, 42 of 70 now in the books, and we're watching a replay of Mr. Downham, Jim Downham, number 28. Move 59 into the wall. I believe that's Jay Downham. And then Jim spins around, hits the wall, spins that car. He's backwards here. And he gets the car going again. Off the racing surface. And some major damage to that front right wheel. And he's going to have to tow. That's what happened to the 28. And we're back live now. The 1-2 still Shelton and Brian McCann. As we show Jim Downham coming out of pit lane, number 28. And 44 of 70. And there's Shelton and Brian McCann, 1-2. And a good 15 seconds back to the third place of Thompson. Riker is 17-22 back to Sims. Thomas Rule 24 seconds back. And then David Trumley 25 seconds back. Andrew Bisnet 31 seconds back. So Dustin moving up to the 10th spot. Like Tyler Bowers and Jay Dunham on pit lane. Once we complete this lap here, it'll be 25 to the end as the 1-2 punch come across the stripe. So 25 laps to go. Leaders Shelton and Brian McCann. They continue to battle for the championship and tonight's race. Yeah, you see, no real change up front. Shelton and McCann pacing the field. Back here, looks like Rule has caught to the back of Jordan Sims. David Trumley now moving up into the 7th spot, looking to capitalize, getting within earshot of Thomas Rule. I'm just out of screen there. Working lap number 49. This little 4-car pack here working together. That's from 5 through 9. Or 5 through 8, sorry. Whoa, sliding around to 0-7. Holding on here. No contact made there. And Biznett is able to get around. Number 28. Well, a little sliding around there is Rule. Or actually, that was Jordan Sims. As Rule goes by and brings David Trumley with him. They'll move Trumley to the 6th spot and Andrew Biznett to the 8th position. So Thomas Rule looks like he gave the position up to David Trumley. And Trumley's got 25 seconds to make up between him and Mr. Shelton. Still watching Ryan Shelton and Brian McCann as they're catching to the end of the lead lap here. Is that's Bob Burlew, who is the last car on the lead lap. Shelton and McCann 17 seconds ahead of Thompson, the 3rd place driver. Working lap now 55 of the 70 for the Tyler Daniel Gas and Grill season 1 of 2022. Presented by Back Talk and broadcasted by One to Go Studios. 16 laps to go here. Ryan Shelton, Brian McCann out to a huge lead. The two of the guys battling not only for a championship, but also for tonight's checkered flag. Looks like both will go to the same driver. All right, Ryan Shelton, Brian McCann. About a 2-car length between them, working to finish lap 57 here. We have 13 to go at the stripe. These two have been up the top 1-2 the whole night, making sure that one of the two of them not only gets the checkered flag, but the championship crown at the same time. Interesting there. Tyler Bowers down on pit lane, as we just saw that. Down 7 laps. Not sure exactly what was wrong with his car. So he hit the wall or something there. And once they complete here, it'll be 10 to go with Ryan Shelton and Brian McCann, 18 seconds over the third place car of Thompson. Jordan Sims has disconnected. 10 laps to go with Shelton and McCann leading the way here. About a car length between the 99 and the 3. So we have 9 laps left here. Right behind them, I believe, Ryan Walter, that's right behind them in the 47. All right, so approaching the 5 to go mark. Ryan Shelton, Brian McCann, your race leaders. About a 2-car length separation between the two of them. The next car, 19 seconds behind. These two have been putting on a clinic here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Number 3 now taking that low side around Shelton. McCann on the inside of turn number 1. 99 is going to try to hold him down there. Looks like the 3 is going to slide up, complete the corner, and be the new race leader. So McCann to the front and Shelton back to second spot as we have about 5 laps to go. With 5 laps to go, McCann working around lap traffic. Right behind him is Mr. Ryan Shelton. Well, I was up in the grass. That was Ryan Walter. Like Brian McCann, race leader here. At least Tyler Bauer back out after like an engine change. Ryan Shelton, he had a little bit of car trouble and had lost control of the car enough to be off the track or something, is what it looks like, and not sure for a minute. It was Ryan Shelton on the lap 67. With 3 laps to go, Brian McCann now with a commanding 14-second lead. So final lap here for Brian McCann, almost 14-second lead over Ryan Shelton. So One to Go presents final lap here for the Back Talk sponsor, Tyler Daniel Racing Gas and Go Championship race here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Checker flag to race winner Brian McCann and the 2022 Season 1 champion for the Tyler Daniel Gas and Go Series. So let the rest of the drivers complete their laps. We'll try to get with some of these drivers. trail of smoke behind the number 3 of Brian McCann, and I'm joined in the booth by Dustin. Dustin, man, Brian wanted to make sure that nobody had any questions who was the champion.
Yeah, it was a fun race, and I didn't get to see what they were doing up there, but it sounded like Ryan and Brian were actually having a fun battle there, and Ryan just got loose towards the end there. But congrats to Brian on the victory and the championship. It was a fun season, and can't wait for next season.
Yeah, like I said, that was so right now we're looking at the driver of the number 3 car, Brian McCann. I don't know if we could find him. I know usually he doesn't do the Discord. Well, he's actually waiting.
Yep, we can bring him up in here. And I kind of made a message in the race channel, and I figured he would join us. So,
all right.
Hey, Brian, Stelton in the booth. You got a read on us?
Hey, I do. How's it going?
Well, not too bad, man. You put on a school between you and Ryan. You guys paced the field by about 16 seconds at one time. You must be really comfortable around Indianapolis Motor Speedway to be that smooth that long.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite tracks, being flat and fast like that. It's pretty challenging. Ryan, though, he was fast. I was at the end there, or at the beginning, I got around him, but then he got back around me. So me and him were on the same pit strategy. I was hoping to pit one lap earlier than him, but same pit strategy. So when we came back out, he was ahead. So I figured I'd just follow behind him, and I worked on saving my tires a little bit. And then I knew somewhere around about lap 10, maybe 8, I was gonna, go and see if I can get around him again. And he had me worried there at the end, though. He had some speed.
Yeah, it looked like you two really knew what you were doing around here. What happened when you started coming up with lap traffic? Was that really seemed like Ryan and you were kind of get issues getting around the lap traffic more than the two of you?
Yeah, I didn't really have any issues. I didn't see what happened to Ryan, but if there was an opportunity, I was going to use that to my advantage. But I didn't really ever have one of those opportunities where I can, block him over or something. So from my perspective, we got around it right or good, but I don't know what happened with him.
Well, Dustin, do we have official results at this point, or let you guys handle the notifications, if that's the best way to say that?
Brian won the race, so he wins the championship. Brian Shelton will get second. Trumbley will get third. Andrew will get fourth, and then I round out the top 5 after all the points. But that's how it ended up shaking out. Brian wins the championship. He won the race, and the points are set. So congratulations, Brian.
Thank you.
All right, so Brian, man, like you said, who do you want to thank? You have it was like kind of like a Trans Am inspired black 3 car.
Yeah, I found this Trans Am a few days ago and decided to put it on. But I'd like to thank my wife, family, all the guys come out here and drive all the time. The TDR group, a lot of good guys to race around. A lot of fast guys out here here recently in the Cup Series. It's been real fun to come out here. Just you guys for doing the broadcast and all the admins that help with the TDR. There's a lot of races every week, and they put a lot of work into it. So I'd like to thank them for everything they do.
All right, Dusty, you got anything else for Brian before we let him go celebrate the dual victory tonight?
No, just congratulations, and can't wait to see you next season and see you on the track again.
Thanks.
All right, Dustin, do you want to talk to anyone else before we sign off for the season? Any of you guys want to say anything to the fans and those groups that we got going on here? This was our final race for the 2022 season 1 here for the Gas and Go series.
Yeah, it was a fun season. There's a handful of guys up in the booth. I don't know if you want to go up there and look. I mean, you got the top 3 in point or top 4 in points yet. You got me in the top 5 yet. If you want to talk to any one of them, I mean, it's up to you. It's your call.
Well, we could talk to Ryan Shelton, see what he thought about the end of that race. I mean, I guess that's where we'll start. I guess we can do that.
Hey, Ryan, this is Dustin in the booth. You got to read on me, bud?
Going on?
That face you have, a picture of Kyle. I actually saw that face up close and personal in Dover. So he's grump. It's funny because when he's got his suit on, he's grumpy. But when he's out there with his kid, when he's racing, he's not grumpy. So I wonder how that works with Mr. Kyle. But anyway, going on, Ryan, man, you guys, you and Brian McCann were definitely the class of the field tonight. There were times that it looked like you were going to have an opportunity to maybe repass him or cross him back over. So how was the end of that race going in your eyes?
It was going good. I knew that he was probably faster than me, considering I wasn't able to actually pull away from him once I passed him. I think I passed him twice, and both times he just stayed right on my bumper. So I didn't think I had the speed to actually win. I think he was actually a little bit quicker than me. But I knew with about 10 laps to go, the car started to get really, really loose, and trying to get around some lap traffic just got too loose by turning the wheel just a little bit too much, more than normal, and just got loose and hit the wall. So,
yeah, as I saw, you guys were about 2 car lengths apart, and then I ended up watching you guys get around some lap traffic, looked up, and like, wait a minute, he's 15 seconds back. What happened? So now you answered that question for me. I didn't even have to ask.
yep, yeah, just pinched the corner off a little too much, trying to get around some lap traffic. So, it is what it is. It's part of racing, and move on to next season.
Now, these cars, is that one of these things that's more of a nice edge versus maybe the Xfinity Series car or the old Cup car?
No, I actually don't like these as much as I like the older stuff. The older cars normally drive a little bit loose, like it did tonight. Was probably the best I've had with this car, where the car feels a little loose, a little bit on the back end. You can kind of dirt track it a little bit more. It was a lot of fun tonight, whereas normally we get these cars and they're very stuck to the ground, and you got to be real precise with how you drive, and that's not really me. I drive more a little bit on the ragged edge a little bit. That's where the Xfinity car and the old Cup car really let me drive how I like to.
All right. Well, before we let you go, I mean, you're second on the race, second on the season. So who do you want to thank in your garage?
Just McConey Setup Shop. They've brought me on board for this season. So, fortunately, we weren't able to get a championship, second race out, but, it is what it is.
All right, Ryan, we'll let you get going, man. And congratulations on the second for the 2021 or 2022 season 1 with TDR.
Thank
you. And I think Dustin, let's talk to the 3rd overall, Mr. Trumley, if we got him. If that's possible.
Trumley has shut off his radio.
Oh, what? The funny thing is, I know Trumley. That's kind of funny. I should send him a direct mission. Him and Fish both know me from USRLA. So, all right. So I guess we can. Let's talk to you, Dustin. Your wife was in there checking this out earlier. Said, checking you to get you to push to the front. But it's a tough track, and so the combination of this track and this car. Tell me about it. What do you guys think?
I kind of like it. They don't go there, so that new starting zone wasn't in here, so we've been playing with that. But I like the track. I've always liked Indy racing on the track. We did the Indy 500 a few weeks ago here in the Iconic Series that we put on and ran the full race with green flag. But the car feels good. The new update they did felt good this week. It's the first time I hopped in it. We had an Iconic race this morning. We raced Road America the Indy car at Road America for 55 laps. So going around left turns was a little different tonight, but it's all fun. I love this series. I love TDR, and we put on some good fun races for these guys, and can't wait for next season for Gas and Go.
Yeah. So as you say that, I do a lot of Delar 18 racing, which you're talking about the Indy 5. I guess I would have wished to known you guys were doing that, because that's like my favorite car, and in iRacing is that particular car and the setup stuff that we can do with it, and just it's something that I'm, like what Ryan just said, we kind of drivers will all kind of feel out what best fits our style, and that car fit mine the best, and I do have fun playing with other cars, and I always ask that question about the next gen car, because it's so many things that are changing. I mean, like I said, I had the opportunity to talk to an actual NASCAR driver in Chris Buescher, and Buescher is telling me that it still has some issues. I wish I could talk to him after the last update, though. I haven't had an opportunity to talk to him, but we did talk at Dover a little bit about it, and he said that there's still some work to do, but they're working in that right direction, which is kind of neat that the Cup car teams are actually using iRacing to get extra seat time for their drivers. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet thing. I mean, I think when it comes down to this next gen car and like the old car, like Ryan Shelton, when we were talking to him, he prefers the older car, but he's also been on the service for years. You know, I mean, I think these guys that are veterans in this service, they would prefer the old car. I think that's younger guys that are young in the service or in iRacing like the newer car because it's a little different to drive, and you know we could catch up to them a little better because they're learning as well with us. So I think that's why some of the older guys in the service, they kind of lean towards the older car, but us younger guys in the service, I think we enjoy the newer car more.
You know, if you turn that into the veteran NASCAR guys are having issues and the rookie guys are looking pretty good, you might have the same issue.
It's a fun car to learn. I mean, I think like I said, when it comes down to it, is just learning the tracks, learning the cars, you know, and it's almost like you're starting a new game over. I don't want to call it a game, but you're almost starting over from the beginning, and we're all learning together and listening to Ryan and all these guys up in Discord give tips about what they're doing and what we could do to make ourselves better. It was fun, like talking with Robert Trask last week up in Discord. He's like, I always burn out my tires, and Ryan's like, back up your corners, do this, and it's good. That's the one thing I like about TDR. You know, it doesn't matter how you are on the track, you're gonna help out the other guy, and we just have fun doing it. I mean, that's what we're all getting better every week with it. That's why I think the next season, I don't know when we're starting. I haven't heard the final or the updated dates, but the next season, I think it's going to be more competitive, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I did one partial season with the TDR Veterans Truck Series, and I did notice that in iRacing, if you're an iRacer, you know that usually in leagues there's the groups, the teams, they help each other, but not a lot of crosstalk. But at TDR, did seem that they were willing to share information and make the racing better for everyone. And then I used to always say that I want to beat you on your best day, not your worst day.
That's the truth there. And, you know, us at TDR and Back Charities want to thank you for broadcasting the playoffs for us. It's been a blast having you broadcast these to let our friends and families watch and enjoy the races. We appreciate it here at TDR and Back Charities.
Well, I appreciate you guys, Dustin. And, man, if you got nothing else for us, we're going to go run down the results real quick, and then I'll let you talk the top five again in case somebody missed that. So we'll go ahead and first off, we'll pull it up here. We'll pull the results for tonight. And for the championship, 175 from Back Talk sponsor TDR Gas and Go. Brian McCann, your overall winner. Ryan Shelton second. Ethan Thompson third. Fourth was Jason Ricker. David Trumley was fifth. Thomas Rule third, or the third was sixth. Andrew Bisnett seventh. Dustin, you were in the eighth spot. Ninth was Christopher Strawn, and Tyler Daniels in the 10th spot. Kind of good to see him for the second week in a row. Moving on to this next group was Greg and Chuck McDonald, Bob Burlow, Chris Rollins, and Robert Trask to the 15th spot. Jim Downham, Robert Cochran, Jay Downham, Brad Hunt, and Ryan Walter finished the top 20. And we got a couple of more drivers here, Jordan Sims and Tyler Bowers, and Luke Desjardins rolls out the 23rd from Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Indianapolis. Like I said, hey, Dustin, give us that roll down again who our top five were for championship series here at the end.
The top five for the championship points, Brian McCann wins it at 1065, and then Ryan Shelton at 1060. David Trumley comes home third at 1057. Andrew Bisnett at 1055, and myself with the point spread was 984. But good series by all these guys. You know, this is fun. This is the first time we've tried the playoffs, and it's been it was an experience, and it was a battle. I wish I could have been in the top four with all these guys, but making it top eight was awesome. I mean, listening to everybody that made the playoffs, they're like, this is just entertaining. We're all tied again. We all have a chance. And it was an experience, and I hope we keep doing it.
All right, so here's the Back Talk race recap for the championship 175. Your overall winner, Brian McCann. No cautions for 0 laps, so a caution-free event. 23 drivers took to the green flag. Fastest lap was the 52.452 with the number 57 of Tyler Bowers. And Dustin, has been a great time running with you guys at the end of this season, helping you guys out with the playoffs, man. And We'll keep an eye on you guys in TDR throughout. If you want to check them out, where do we get you at? TDR, I know it's backcharities.com. Where else can we see you?
Yeah, and join the Facebook page on Tyler Daniels Racing, and also the Discord. Once you get on Facebook, we'll get you the link to the Discord, and that's where you can sign up for the races. And we race every night of the week. Monday nights are veterans races, our veterans and first responders races. Tuesday night is trucks. Wednesday night Xfinity. Thursday is IndyCar right now. That usually does different cars. Friday it's an Evolve series. We're in the ARCA cars, I believe. Right now I don't get to race that race. Saturdays is kind of an off day, but they do the Legends cars in the morning. And then Sunday we do coffee and cars in the morning, and also the iconic races when we do them. And Sunday night is the Gas and Go series. Feel free to join us. We're a fun group of guys to race with. Beginners, veterans, we'd love to have you.
All right, Dustin and the TDR guys, Back Charities. Check them out with the Back Talk group guys on any of your podcasts. Until then, I'm Harold Darner, One to Go Studios. We'll see you at the next turn.
What an exciting race brought to you by One to Go Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.